You may have heard many a time before of existentialism. Perhaps you have heard of the term existential crisis or existential breakdown. A lot of you probably have some cursory idea of what it is. However, today I'm going to relate to you a more in-depth explanation of what existentialism is, how it comes to be, and what it entails. I won't lollygag any longer, so prepare for liftoff now. I think that the most important thing to understand when trying to wrap one's mind around existentialism is scale. No, not the thing used to find mass, also known as weight here in the United States, but the concept of how big things are, or in actuality, how small they are. The primary idea to get across is our small physical size. Here's a satellite image of my house. Technically, when you think about it, I'm in this picture, and if I were to have been outside when this photo was taken, you would be able to see me, but I'd still look pretty small and easy to miss, right? Okay, now here's a satellite image of my whole neighborhood. Thanks to the limitations of the human eye and the concept of resolution, even if I were to be standing outside, you would simply not be able to see me as I'd be too small. Already I have been diminished by scope, but I'm not even close to finished yet. Here's an image of my whole county. If you're the target audience for this video, then you're in this picture, but you're too small for anyone to see you. Next, here's an image of the state of New Jersey. If I have talked to you in the last 5 years, you're in this picture, but you're too small for anyone to see you. Next, here's the United States. If you're watching this, the odds are overwhelming that you're in this picture, but you're too small for anyone to see you. Now here's a picture of planet Earth. If you're not a member of some space program, you're in this picture, but you're too small for anyone to see you. Here's a rendition of our solar system. If you are a human being or a Martian, you are in this picture, but you're too small for anyone to see you. Now here's the Milky Way galaxy. Your entire planet is in this picture, but it's too small for anyone to see it. Next, here's the entire known universe. Mamma mia, here we go again. I think you get the point by now. As Carl Sagan put it, our planet is just a pale blue dot. Except even that is giving its size too much credit. We are small. But besides physical size, there is another scope over which human life is trivial: time. The average human life lasts 79 years. This is a whopping 2.5 billion seconds. That's enough time to watch up to this point in the video this many times. It seems like a lot of time. However, the age of the universe is 5.5 times that number, in years. That's right, your entire life is expected to last 1/175 millionth of the age of the universe so far. Except remember that the universe keeps getting older after you die, so the longer it's been since you died, the less time your life takes up as a fraction of the age of the universe. 1/175 millionth may seem like an arbitrarily small number, so let's put that into perspective. In case you somehow don't know, motion pictures technically don't move. That illusion is created by flashing a bunch of images on screen in quick succession. Each image is called a frame, and most movies run at 24 frames per second. As you might imagine, you need a lot of frames in quick succession to make it look like a film and not a slideshow. The Matrix, the only movie I have ever seen, has a total runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes, 9,000 seconds, or 216,000 frames. Therefore, if we watched The Matrix 810 times in a row, which would take about 84 days and 9 hours total, and took that as the age of the universe, the average human lifespan would last one frame of that. Humanity as a whole would last just 2,500 frames, or 104 seconds. Yep, you've taken the red pill all right. Okay, Jake, we get it. We are tiny and our lives are just a blip of a bloop. What do we do with this information? This is probably not what you're saying to yourself, but I'll act like it is anyway and move on to the philosophical part of existentialism. The reason it's so important to understand the tiny scope of humanity when talking about existentialism is because as a philosophy, existentialism hinges upon the relative unimportance of the individual in the grand scheme of the universe. Think about it. Even just on Earth alone, you are just one of 7 billion equally tiny people. Why should the universe care about any one of you? Within the universe, there may be thousands of similarly sized or greater sized populations of intelligent life. Why would the universe care about any one of them? The universe doesn't care about you. It's completely indifferent to your life. And in fact, considering that it tends toward entropy and that organisms are ordered, it's actively hostile towards you, if anything. The concept that the universe has laid out a plan for you, or actively works to balance out the positive and negative forces of your life, or makes any special accommodations for you specifically, is so incredibly egocentric that it rivals a schizophrenic delusion. Reductio ad absurdum, my friend. The idea most at odds with the existentialist viewpoint is the old adage that everything happens for a reason. It's a tough pill to swallow, but some events are unfortunately just random. So what, is life just meaningless now? Well, not so fast, Mr. Nihilism. Even though we may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, consider all your memories, actions, motivations, and plans for the future. What is the scope of the vast majority of these things? Certainly not universal. So if your life doesn't have an all-encompassing scope, why would its meaning? That would be dumb. No, you can't conclude that life is meaningless just because the universe is bigger than it. To you, your life is everything. But since the universe can't decide its meaning because it's too big, there must be something of smaller scale that can. Lo and behold, there is. It's you. You decide the meaning of your own life and the direction it takes. The universe isn't responsible for you, only you are. You ever ask your girlfriend where she wants to eat and she's all like, oh, IDK, it's up to you. That's basically the essence of existentialism. No matter how hard you want to believe otherwise, it's still going to be your decision. The good part, though, is that you'll be free to eat where you want, and existentialism can coexist with numerous other philosophies, even if at first they seem to clash. It's not an answer to the question so much as a format or an interface for my programmers out there. I never thought I would say this, but perhaps the best definition of existentialism is the following line from a Hannah Montana song. Life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. Thank you very much.
Existential crisis, I've had an existential crisis. There's no good reason why I exist. I feel so strange and lifeless. Existential crisis, I've had an existential crisis. There's no good reason why I exist. It isn't even clear what life is.
Just had a crisis. It was existential. Feel like my existence is inconsequential. Don't feel there's such a thing as a soul.